drink, man. They got a keg, dog. Keg stand, get lit up. Keg stand, yo, it's time to get drunk. Keg stand, I can barely walk and I can barely talk, but this is how it starts. With a keg stand, get lit up. Keg stand, yo, it's time to get drunk. Keg stand, and the room's still spinning, but I ain't stopped drinking until the party's ending.
Okay, guys, we are back where we started at the very beginning at the New York City Craft Beer Festival.
Yay!
Jessica's here co-hosting.
I'm so excited.
We are here with our comic guest, shit.
You already messed up.
You know, the last name people definitely mess up. Boris is usually like, it's unusual, but memorable enough.
I was literally like, because my last name was tricky too. So.
Yeah. You were so focused on the last name that you forgot all about how to...
Boris Khaykin.
Boris Khaykin, yeah. You nailed the last name, though, so you know what? That makes up for all of it.
And our brewery guest today is going to be Merlin.
Hello.
From Wartega.
Hello.
Fantastic names all around.
Yeah.
Yes, I second that.
What are we drinking today? Tell us about your brewery, first of all.
Sure. So our brewery is fairly new to the New York scene. We are about a year and some weeks old. My wife and I are the owner-operators, and the name comes from our last name. So I'm Merlin Ward. She's Mimi Ortega. We both dropped a letter, smashed it together. We got Wartega. And we decided that we wanted to focus on something very special for the New York City market. And we do all herb, spice, and fruit beers.
Ooh.
So we use ancient ale ingredients and culinary inspiration to create really bold flavored beers.
We'll be the judge
Very
of that.
awesome.
Yeah, wow.
Well, let's try one of these bold flavored beers.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to start you off with one of our flagship beers. Shall I just pour? Yeah?
Yeah.
This is called Parasol. And this is an amber ale that we brew with hibiscus.
Now, is Parasol like the name of your children's names combined or something like that?
No, all of our beer names are actually like old school English terms or unused literary terms that are still like funny and have some kind of hidden meaning sometimes. But this beer is great because we use the hibiscus the same way they do in the Caribbean to make sorrel drink. So we actually boil it with the hops for the full extent of the boil.
Oh.
We also do late addition with it, like what they do with IPAs, and we also dry hop with it. So you get the great like flavor, color, and aroma of hibiscus in a really great amber ale. These really nice, strong backbone of malt flavor cut through with hibiscus.
This has a much stronger flavor than most hibiscus beers.
Yeah.
Usually they're very delicate and frilly. And this is like, I'm a beer, also hibiscus.
Yes, exactly. That's what we were going for.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like a half beer, half tea.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, it really reminds me of a tea, primarily the hibiscus.
And in a good way, by the
you'd
way.
see that.
I love tea. I'm a tea guy, almost more than a beer guy. And this is a nice...
So then
Yeah.
I'm winning you over twice.
Yeah, a nice marriage of the two.
Yeah, it's really good.
Thank you.
I love it.
So you use these literary terms as your names. Who has that as their background?
Nobody. I read a lot, and every time I come across a funny term,
I love wordplay.
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, let's use that, or I'll find the definition. And we've had some really funny ones. My favorite is Rantalian. I'll let the listeners Google that one. But that was for a session IPA, and it makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Big swinging hops is the key there.
Love it.
We've also done ones like Yesteryear, which is just a last year term.
Yeah.
That was a really great pre-Oblition porter that we did. Probably come back this year.
Where are you guys located?
So we started in Industry City. We actually shared the space with Industry City Distillery.
Oh, wow.
Our tasting room for the full year was actually combined. So we would have our beers there, their cocktails. We did some beer cocktails. And it was a great space that overlooked the entire harbor. You could see Statue of Liberty. You could see World Trade Center. Right now we're in transition. So we're now seeking investment and looking for a bigger space. We want to go big. We're going to do like 15-barrel plus system and really start brewing for mass production. When we started, we were on a 1-barrel system, which is only like 31 gallons at a time.
Yeah, that's like a nano brewery.
And anybody who owns a brewery will tell you, like, you're working too hard.
Yeah.
Because beer is interesting in that it doesn't matter what volume you're making. It pretty much takes the same amount of time to make 1 gallon versus 30 barrels.
They all got to sit for the same amount of time,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So we're looking to make that change and get our investment and get a little bigger.
Very cool.
Make some money.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing all right with that too. But.
You're gonna put in a tap room when you grow
Totally.
bigger?
Yeah, the shared tap room was a great concept. It was really good for us as we were starting with this really interesting concept with the herbs, spices, and fruits. And we were able to prove it with our tasting room that we had some solid recipes that people actually liked and sought out.
Yeah.
So we threw some of those out to contract, and they're in the city now. And now we're looking to like really expand our business.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love it. It's really, really tasty.
Thank you.
So, what else do you have for us to taste?
I got another one for you. This is this one you're gonna love. It's a great term. It's called Catawampus. Catawampus. And so this beer, the base is a cream ale. We do a cream ale with about 30 to 40% corn. And corn is an ancient ale ingredient. It was actually introduced to the colonizers by Native Americans as a fermentable. And they started using it to create the kind of the American adjunct lager that we drink now, that it was supposed to mimic the pilsners of the German immigrants that they remembered from the motherland.
Good.
So
Smells creamy.
we also add to this then nutmeg and green tea, and it gives it a nice earthy note, and then the spice note, and it's kind of like a really light winter lager, winter warmer, which we really love.
This is fantastic. This has
Wow.
more of the tea flavor.
It's really
This
good.
is
yeah.
really different.
I can't tell if like I'm tasting a little bit of corn only because you told me that, like it's psychosomatic, or if I'm actually tasting corn.
There is a little bit because we use it at such a high percentage, and it is a kind of a fuller-bodied beer that you do get like a little bit of the corn sweetness. Like it's almost like a little bit of grits. You
Yeah.
know?
This is really, really good.
Yeah.
Good for like a
I don't
I don't
barbecue or
taste it.
something.
You said nutmeg is in this?
Nutmeg
Yeah,
and
I
green
don't
tea,
taste
yeah.
that at all, but it like
This is a great beer
Smells
for
good.
anything that has kind of a nutty note to it. Like really, really stanky cheeses are good with this. We love to pair food with Catawampus.
It's slightly minty. I like the end. It's like they got this weird little mintiness at the end.
Yeah, that's the green tea.
Did you say stanky cheese?
Stanky cheese.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah,
You
not
usually
stanky cheese. Stanky with the T. Stanky.
stanky.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but like usually people pair wine with cheese, so this is like a good alternative to try to vary your
I
stank.
personally believe that beer is a better pairing for most foods than wine is.
Actually,
And not because I'm a brewer, but because there's so much variety in beer.
we're actually
Yeah.
in talks with the Bedford Cheese Shop to do a beer and cheese pairing.
Yeah?
I'm super excited about where my life is led right now. Because I'm going to sit and just eat cheese and drink beer and be like, this is my job.
Yeah. It's great. As long as you're not lactose intolerant, the next day is perfect.
yeah, right.
Or an alcoholic.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other problem.
There's that other one.
The next day may not be perfect either way.
True.
I mean, it's beer and cheese.
Too much
Right.
beer and cheese
Yeah, it's-
anyway, yeah.
It's going to be basically a disaster the next day,
Yeah,
no
just
matter
do some
what.
jumping jacks before you go to bed. Turn it up.
What toilet pairs well with that beer and cheese?
Yeah. We need a nice solid porcelain for
Worth
perfectly
it.
clear of aromas.
So, you still brew in New York.
Yeah, totally. Oh, we keep everything in New York City. So a big thing for us is kind of keeping everything really local. So we're also a farm brewery, so we have to use New York State ingredients, which we do, even in the contracting. And we wanted to keep it in New York City because we're Brooklyn-based.
Yeah.
So 5 boroughs is very important to us. So we're contracting with different New York City breweries or within the New York City, not necessarily Brooklyn. And we want to kind of keep our roots there. So we don't want to contract upstate, although there are some really good contractors out there. Definitely don't want to go outside of the state like Virginia. We want to keep it close to home so that you're really, truly drinking New York City beer.
So
That's
you're a
really
farm brewer.
excellent.
You can go to the farmers markets.
Totally. Yeah, we could. Yeah.
I mean, I see some brewers killing it there.
Oh yeah, I could imagine farmers markets
Yeah,
doing
they're
a
no
killing.
oil Sunbury beer. They go there and they're like, I bought my radishes
Right.
and my lettuce and my bouquet. I need some alcohol.
Right?
And,
Totally.
they're
And my
like,
fancy cheeses and my fancy breads, and now I need something to go with it. So
There's one farm brewer that we're going to have on. That we're going to have on this at the farmers market in U Square, and he was like, "I can't do it in U Square. I'm too busy slinging beer like it's my job."
Right.
Which it actually is his job. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, like it's really a great place to sell beer.
Totally. I think I know who you're talking about, too, and they make some fantastic beers up there.
Yeah.
And they're pretty small
Up in,
batch.
up on the Hudson Valley.
Yeah.
I can't remember their name right now.
Something with farm in it. I forget exactly.
Yeah.
But they make some great beer. Actually, I met him at the Union Square Market, bought their beer, and like went back the next week. Was like, this was awesome.
Yeah, I know the beer is amazing. And he was like, well, you can come at 8 a.m. and podcast. And like, well, I work with comics and I drink beer, so I don't know if that's going to work. But we'll figure that one out.
You could probably mark it up like crazy there, too, right? People there are paying like $10 for a loaf of artisanal bread.
Yeah, they tend to. We try to keep it pretty honest with our pricing. I don't want to gouge anybody, but,
I'm playing the devil here, you know what I mean?
I
I'm
gotcha.
like,
There's always a buck to be
assholes
made.
off.
So, where are you and looking for new space? Do you have anything triangulated yet? Kind of looking.
We want to keep it Brooklyn, I think. If we don't do Brooklyn, I think what we'd end up doing is upstate and just going much bigger, like seriously big, like Farmstead style. But I like Brooklyn. I like having a tasting room in Brooklyn. I think our community is there, our customer is there.
Yeah.
And just have something local that people can come to as like part of the neighborhood is what we're looking to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, where can you be found in Brooklyn? Like, where are you sold?
Where are we now? We're all over the place. Most of the bars on Fifth Avenue in Park Slope have us.
Okay.
Greenwood Park has us. Brooklyn Burger has us. Those two are my favorites. We are also all over Manhattan, anywhere basically from 60th Street south. And then a few spots out in Queens, too.
You guys are only wherever you sell, you're doing pours, like drafts.
It's
You're
all
not
draft,
doing
yeah, right
bottles
now.
or cans, yeah?
For now. We are going to do some canning later. It's always a little bit trickier when you're not owning the canning system, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And how many do you have? Like, how many recipes do you have in rotation?
Oh, I mean, in rotation out in the market right now, only 3, soon to be 4. But we are going to do continual one-offs as well, so it's not just going to be kind of our flagship set. There'll be other special things out there.
Oh, great.
In the tasting room, just last year, we brewed almost 50 styles of beers, 50
great.
individual beers, which was
Yeah,
awesome.
I was gonna ask, like, if you do it do you do seasonal recipes? Or...
We try, yeah. I mean, seasonal ingredients or seasonal recipes. Generally, the dark beers come out in winter, but we did a dark beer during the summer and it did fine. We're changing it up. We really like to focus on the seasonal ingredients because not a lot of people realize, like, you're not supposed to be able to eat an apple all year round, right? Like,
Right.
apples have a season, and so we incorporate that seasonality into the beers, gives it a little more scarcity, a little more interesting flavor.
Apples, you said?
Yeah.
I mean, I heard human beings aren't even supposed to eat fruit year-round, right? Like, I heard it's an
Wow.
exaggeration that we're supposed to, like, eat fruit on a regular basis.
Yeah, right?
I don't mean to throw
Weird.
conspiracy theories into this, but that's what I heard.
I haven't
Of course.
heard any of this.
Of course,
Yeah, no, I
Boris
heard,
would
like-
bring conspiracy theories into that.
How many voices do you hear?
Me? No, I just hear my own voice over and over again, but it's got a lot of different ideas.
I just hear I should drink beer all the time.
Yes.
And it's really weird. You know, one of the things I'm noticing in my life, if someone has an anti-vaxxing article, I get really pissed off at it. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? You're like killing. You're gonna bring measles back and polio. That's terrible. There's no logic behind that. If I see an article that says beer might be healthy, then I just cancel a doctor's
Oh, it's
appointment.
100% true,
Yeah.
right?
Accurate.
Yeah.
I got my pills.
Without
In a cup.
It's law.
it's like I don't worry about cancer because I drink beer all the time.
Vaccinate your children with beer.
Yes, I don't even read the beer article. It's just beer might be healthy. I'm like, well,
Duh!
fuck health insurance.
I already knew that. It's finally everybody else is getting on board,
like, it's
you
such
know?
a weird thing. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, if you say I'm an anti-vaxxer, I'm like, fuck you, I
Then
hate
you get
you.
mad, yeah. It's just funny, like, oh, you get the sniffles? Have a beer.
Yeah, have a beer. Like, of course, beer is the
Fixed.
healthiest thing. I'm not going to read the rest of this article. It's healthy. It says so in the title.
You
Right.
could argue it logically, too. Like, it's alcohol, it kills germs. You know, you probably drink it. it'll kill some
100%.
germs.
Totally.
I mean, I do all that in my head. It's really quite fun.
Gymnastics, mental gymnastics,
totally.
just so you can get drunk on
It's
beer.
called rationalization.
I have 100% cured a toothache with whiskey. 100%.
Nice.
Yeah, they used
Like,
to do that for babies, didn't
Almost couldn't, like, doubled over in pain and, like, took one shot of whiskey, swished it around, and it was magic.
Liberated.
Not
Dr.
even
Daniels
kidding.
is great. So,
Love it.
Boris, what do you got going on?
they? In general, tonight, I'm doing a lot of video stuff. I just wrote a musical with a buddy of mine that we're pitching, and
Did
I'm
you
very
really?
excited. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. It's
Music theater here.
I do music
Really?
theater.
So we wrote we're not sure yet if it's going to be like a pilot for a series or a standalone thing, but it's It's a musical about the guy who invented vaping.
I love it.
Because a lot of people don't
amazing.
know this, but this guy, Herbert Gilbert, invented vaping back in the 60s.
I did not know that.
It's true, and our tagline is
I mean,
we wanted
somebody
to...
had to have invented it.
But back in the 60s, which people... That's a long time ago.
Right, it's just catching on now.
And so that's really the only non-fictional part of it. The rest of it is just like kind of an absurd... Our tagline is we want to do for him the opposite of what Hamilton does for Alexander Hamilton.
okay, got it.
So we like shit on him the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm like developing that, and then we're like pitching it out and stuff. But otherwise, just doing a lot of sketch stuff and a lot of stand-up.
You're on
Very
the
cool.
you're on the podcast of the prequel.
At the Cellar.
The Cellar, yes.
Live from, I'm doing that right after this. Live from America podcast. It's it's been like insane. I guess like we had an Afghan pop star who was like a child bride and worked for the government and had revenge porn released on her. We had like this guy Sander Hicks who's running for Congress, who's a 9/11 truther.
Wow. So
yeah.
it's just like an open. I've never listened to it, but
They
I've
have
heard about it.
like somebody usually related to like politics or a social issue, and then comics to kind of
great.
add a little flavor to it.
Yeah, which is why we have you here when we're talking about beer and drinking beer, too.
just somebody to be a little bit of an asshole and ruin the authentic moment.
I mean, I can take care of that for us.
I love it when somebody says they're a truther because that means they're 90% not.
When they call themselves a truther?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that term.
a 9/11 truther. You've never heard that
I've
before?
never heard of that.
Like
A truther.
the anti-vaxxers might call themselves vaccine truthers.
Oh, okay. So like a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which honestly, I was just telling Brian about this before. That like, I kind of like conspiracy theories. I think they're fun.
Oh, me too.
And I don't like when people like outright. I don't think it's healthy
To dismiss it
pathologize
completely.
that, because I think it's okay to like question stuff, and even though some of it is crazy, I think that it's unhealthy to form like a baseline where like anybody who questions because they've existed. Like this is actually one with alcohol that I brought up. Is like during the Prohibition,
Yeah.
the U.S. government poisoned alcohol being
Yeah.
shipped in the U.S. Like 1,000 people died. And that's like a real thing. That's not like
Right.
So we know that like there's crazy stuff that we're capable of. It's just that like you have to be able to separate the fact
It's a good
from the
devil's
fiction.
advocate to have somebody that
Exactly.
has some
Exactly.
out there theories, you know?
True.
Yeah.
Keep us
I
honest.
think so.
Or just like on your toes.
Except,
exactly.
Have you ever gone out, Merlin, on a limb and like chosen an ingredient that you would never think would work in a beer, and then it did?
Yeah, we did a rosemary marjoram thyme beer, and I will say that it made a better marinade than it did a beer. And that is actually what we ended up using it for. It was supposed to be part of our launch party last year, and we ended up not serving it, and instead we made fried chicken and pulled pork sandwiches with it.
Nice. With
I
it.
thought you were
With
going to
the
say
beer.
fried chicken and pulled pork sandwich, beer.
Oh yeah,
That would really throw
that'd
it
have been
through.
something weird.
Like those like jelly beans where
Yes.
like they get crazy flavors.
Where they
That's what I
taste
would've-
like, yeah.
that's a question I always ask that one question, especially at a brewery that does a little more experimental. I always ask, have you done one that you're like, and it just flops, it's just not drinkable, and everyone like dances around it. On I've asked it a couple of times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true.
yeah.
And it's always like, no, everything comes out golden delicious.
No, that's an absolute lie. If anyone tells
It
you
has
that.
to be.
Yeah. Then
Or-
you're not
Or
experimenting.
we've had a couple
Yeah.
who's like, oh yeah, something went wrong with the batch. I'm like, yeah, you got crazy ingredients.
Yeah,
It didn't play
you
out.
fucked it up. Like-
Yeah, but that's fine. Like that's how you figure out what's great and awesome.
You got to
mean,
live on the edge.
It is heartbreaking when that happens. I mean, even at our scale, that like it's a couple $100 when something goes wrong, you know.
Yeah.
At a larger scale, you're like, oh, that was a couple grand. Whoops.
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully you can use it for something. Now, we had a barrel of it, so using it as marinade was fine. Still, like 80% of it just went down the drain. Yeah, there's not much you can do about that.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, especially starting out, every brewery kind of finds finds its way. It has a brand new system. It needs to figure out how that works,
Yeah.
and like
And
really gets in a groove. And like the first 3 beers are going to be subpar.
And the machines and stuff that you guys use, they're very, you have to make sure they're
there's calibrations,
so
all
clear.
kinds of stuff.
Everything is so touchy. The littlest bit of anything from the air that gets into a tank can affect a
Right,
beer.
you could have like mold or something. Is that right?
I mean, that's the worst case scenario. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
You're
you
working
clearly
with
want everything
yeast
cleaned,
and
but-
everything.
You can get a straight yeast.
Right.
Like
You're working with a live yeast when
Right.
you're
Yeah.
brewing.
Culture.
So,
But
yeah.
also, yeast is everywhere, so you can totally contaminate your
Who
beer.
was
with
it? Who was it that was telling us that it was like dust? They were like making.
That was.
They were building the tables for their
that,
tap room.
That was Rich. Oh wait. Well, Rich had that problem at Bridge and Tunnel.
Bridge and Tunnel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there must have been like sawdust in the air from the other side of the tap room,
yeah.
and it ruined an entire barrel of beer
Oh, jeez.
because it like affected the yeast in a really, really weird way. And they were like, "There's mold in our beer."
That's a shame.
You can't just like scoop that little,
You can't
like
do
when
that.
your cheese gets a little mold. You cut it out. You still eat the rest of the cheese.
No, that's not how beer works. No, like there's because there's a big thing right now. It's not a big thing, but it makes headlines. People making yeast, using yeast in their bodies to make beer.
Yeah.
There's a guy who made beer from their beard because your beard has yeast in it. Mine does too.
Okay, good. I'm glad you said
Yeah.
it. Out there.
It's not just you.
It's not personal.
I'm not saying you're gross.
Yeah.
But by the way, we both have beards of size.
Yeah,
By
you
the way,
can't
beards are gross. How about that?
Beards are fantastic.
Well, there was also a brewery, I think it was in the Scandinavia somewhere, that had made a sour beer from the bacteria from like a supermodel's vagina.
I was just when you said
That's
yeast.
amazing.
Not to be a fucking asshole, but that's the first
That's
thing that popped
immediately
into
what
my
you thought
mind.
of, a woman's
Well, when-
yeast infection.
Well, when you were like an unusual place for yeast to come from, I feel like most people. I'm
That
not
is,
a weird.
yeah.
Most people.
No,
would be
that's
like,
not weird. Yeah.
Would
All
be
right,
like, oh,
I'll
that.
get behind that. I'll support
But
you
it's been
on that
done.
one.
Someone did it.
But
Damn.
that's
Commercially.
crazy. Good
What
for
about
her.
what about
right?
just to be even with the genders? What about cum? Has anybody made beer with cum?
I don't think that works.
No one's done that
Yeah, I
yet.
don't think that would work.
You can't ferment cum.
I don't think so.
Oh.
I think it would just make the beer either really sticky and salty. I don't know. I don't know
You
how
need
that
a
would
lot of
affect
cum.
the recipe.
I just feel like it does. I feel like that would not sell well.
No, I guess it'd be a tough. I didn't say human cum. There's other animals that have a lot more cum. you know?
I don't think that improves things. Mark.
No.
Yeah, that doesn't make it
like,
any better.
I'm like, this is ostrich cum. Well, that's great. That doesn't work.
It
Although
feels-
bird saliva is a thing now.
bird
Have
saliva.
you heard about this? People are either drinking or applying bird saliva on their face. I'm not even sure how
And
you
is
get
it like
bird
a
saliva.
benefit, or-
Apparently.
But why?
I don't know exactly. I just heard it, and I didn't hear it in my own head. Actually, it's out there. Google that.
It wasn't a bird. It wasn't your like pet talking parakeet. Though. It was like,
Take my saliva.
let me
might
mama
have to
bird
Google
you my
that.
saliva.
I wasn't entirely sure birds had saliva. So
I wasn't either, but apparently they do, and you can drink it.
True. I just
like,
assumed.
I just wow.
I want to know why people are putting it on their face.
Googling it now.
Yeah, like I'm alarmed and curious, and mostly alarmed.
Well, on that note, there's a coffee. It's like one of the most expensive coffees in the world that passes through the digestive tract. I forget. It's like some
cat.
sort of. It's
cat
not,
or
it's,
something.
it's in the family. It's not like it's not a weasel, not a marsupial, but like something, some kind of
But
thing
yeah,
like that.
but it like dissolves the parts of the coffee out
Yep.
that are.
And then they
bitter.
collect the poop, and then they ferment the bean, and
Yeah.
poop.
It's
Coffee.
both like something that its digestion does, but also they say that animal like selects the beans that are the best by eating them, and
Oh,
so it
interesting.
like doesn't eat the ones that would make worse coffee
because it knows.
because it's
True, it's Vietnamese.
somehow
Yeah, it's a thing, right? The bird thing.
They drink it.
Yeah.
the bird
It's a-
spit.
It's a Vietnamese drink, bird spit.
Like I used to work with birds in a pet store, and I didn't. There wasn't market. It wasn't like a dog. Like there wasn't
drooling?
drool. Like like their tongue looked dry. I was like, so they probably don't have saliva. So how are they getting enough to drink?
Why is everything
It's
Vietnamese
called-
so
it's-
kinky?
There's a drink called Wonder Farm, and it's called Bird's Nests, and it's bird saliva.
Is that like Palm Wonderful? That's like a fraction of a percent pomegranate, but the rest is just grape
So
juice.
gross.
I
don't
mean,
know.
also you'd probably need like. There's no way the birds have a lot of saliva. It's probably expensive.
Probably, yeah. Or maybe it's like they just lick the bottle and that counts.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
5% bird saliva. The rest is just water.
Yeah.
Nah, I want that pure bird saliva. Mama birded. I wanted
this
mama
poor
birded.
guy.
into
I
my
was just
mouth.
watching a video of a guy tasting it and had no idea what it was, and he was like, "This is pretty good." And then they tell him to read the can, and he's like,
Does a spit take?
What
I
if
mean, if it's already good.
What if
then-
it tastes like Sprite? That'd be weird.
"I don't know." He said it tasted good. Whatever
Yeah, I
this
guess you can't
bird's
really
nest
take it back if
stuff
you already
is.
said it was good.
Yeah, if you like it, you like it.
All right,
Deal with
it's
it.
my mission now to find some bird saliva here. Somebody's got to have some bird saliva.
Some beer made from bird saliva.
If you're listening and you're at the craft, oh no, this isn't live, huh, Brian?
Yeah, we don't do live
Darn it.
because we drink.
Email you.
So we are like, we're not gonna do live. That's the difference here.
Boris, where are you? Do you perform live anywhere around the city? You say you do sketch comedy, right? So
I do
you?
sketch. I do stand up all over the
Oh, you
city.
do? Okay, great.
I have a show that I host at UCB East. That's every fourth Thursday of the month. I have a show, a late night show that I host at the Slipper Room. The next one's May 30th,
Oh,
called
cool.
Celebrity Breakdowns with Boris Khaykin.
All right.
And we have like 2 celebrity guests. We have like improv groups do sets based on it, and I have a stand-up
great.
guest. Yeah, the first show we had our last show we had Corinne Fisher and Christina Hutchinson from Guys We Fucked. We had Rob
Yeah, yeah.
Cantrell. We had Khalid Rahman do stand-up, so we get a great lineup, and it's super fun.
Sounds fun.
And then otherwise, people can check out my calendar at theborisk.com, on Twitter and Instagram and all that shit. And
Awesome.
They can see where I'm at on any given night.
Very cool.
Yeah.
When is this podcast you do? And you do it. You're not regular. You just do it occasionally. The Live from America podcast.
They've been having me back on as like a semi-regular guest now. It kind of records whenever and it comes out whenever. You'd have to like check out their Facebook
Because
page.
I would like our listeners to listen to you occasionally. Mostly stay with us.
Right.
Mostly
Pay a
us. We talk
visit.
about beer. We're rad. But when you run out of our episodes that you binge watch passionately,
And you need a pick me up.
you need to pick me up. This is also
Super
a podcast.
funny.
Also,
Yeah. Well, their best bet in general is like either my website or Facebook. It's all the Boris K. And
Great.
that'll have any podcasts, live appearances, anything like that.
one thing that's fun. Like I do video stuff, and I work with a couple of production companies on a couple of things. And you do video stuff.
I do.
I think what we should do is we should get with Wartega and go to one of your favorite bars you're at,
Yeah.
and go film us get drunk.
I like that
sounds
idea.
great to me.
I mean, we've done that before. It's all over our Instagram. So we'll do
Yeah,
that.
I love doing that with brewers.
I'm treating this like this is a new idea, but I totally do this all the time.
it sets
But we
such a
should
low
do that.
bar for responsibility on
Yeah.
my part. I love it.
Yeah, and it's great because like somebody hold this camera and we're just
Yeah.
Gonna
And
do
hopefully
shit.
it turns into an episode of The
Well, we
Hangover.
get clips and we use it for like fun promo videos too.
yeah. Usually what we do is we film for like 2 hours,
It's great.
and I get like 5 minutes of amazing material.
Perfect.
And that's when fun stories start to come out of you
Yeah,
about
exactly.
what really happens behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Like, I get 5 minutes. I get like maybe 5 minutes of usable, really good material, and a bunch of material that I can like hold over the brewer's head.
Blackmail
They said
me
while
with?
they're drunk.
By the way, I have to circle back because me and my husband work a lot together on a lot of different things. How is it working with your wife?
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, that's awesome.
You betcha. No, she's actually the one that, I had to convince her to eventually do the brewery, but she's the one that really pushes everything forward. She's
Does
quality
she?
control.
I mean, that makes sense.
Exactly, yeah.
I haven't even
woman's
met her
always
yet.
quality
I haven't
control.
even met her yet. And the woman is usually the cheerleader, and that sounds really sexist,
It's
but it
usually-
really
no,
is
it's usually
true.
just a
But it's
person
much
with
more than
standards.
cheerleading.
Oh, is it? Is that-
It's just a person with. Honestly, my house would be filthy if it wasn't for my girlfriend.
I love
like,
it.
I can't. My threshold for everything, for cleanliness, for like anything else, is so much lower that like. And it's so much better that she calls it out and it's like, you need to fucking clean the kitchen. This is disgusting. But I wouldn't notice until she said something. I would live
Right.
in my own filth.
I
Yeah,
do the
my
same
husband
thing.
says the same
I
thing.
did the exact same thing. I mean, look at us.
Yeah, I mean, look at us. Look at us.
It's
Look at
the
us.
beards.
We're monsters.
I think it's the beards.
yeah.
Like, I get up, I'm like, no, I'm fine, leave it, bye.
Do you have the same experience as me? I don't mean to get racy here, but my whole family hates the beard. My girlfriend is like genuinely okay with it. I get compliments on the regular from black men on my beard.
That's about
I
accurate.
think it's because they probably can't grow as big, like, nice of a beard as
Or
you guys
or
can.
it's just a respect in the culture or something.
Oh,
I think
that's
it's
nice.
a black and also like an Islam. I had a video with we were just
I
talking
feel
about
like
the beard.
Muslim dudes grow beards and, like, it means something.
It's just
Also-
ethnic. I think most
Also,
white people can't.
In the brewing world, like having a beard is like having giant tits.
Wow.
Get on that.
I can't grow a beard.
You want
I'm
big
the beardless
titties.
brewer.
Like, yeah, I know. Like
I can do a really
Merlin.
wicked goatee or soul patch.
Nice.
That's about it.
yeah,
I like
but
that
don't-
better.
Yeah,
well,
but don't.
You missed that 20 years ago, so
Yeah. I had one 20 years ago. It was, it was
I was
all right.
just going to say, I'm
And
sure
that
he
was fine
probably
then.
had one.
If you said I'm going to do one now, I'd be like, well, maybe not.
Yeah.
And I look like this. But no, like when you go to I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who works up at Single Cut. There's a brewery he now owns, Fox and Hare, but he used to work at Single Cut, and he has a beard.
Now,
Like a
now
bib.
the viewers can't see this at home, but you got your hands down to
I know.
where
I
like
thought he was going to say he's
belt.
got tits.
where the
big.
lines where your abs point to your dick. You know what I'm
Oh, the
talking
little
about?
underwear lines.
That's
Yeah,
where,
those are
that's
my
where his
fave.
hands are, but for the beard.
Yeah, no, that his beard is that big, and he would, so people would walk up to the bar and go right past the guy who's like, "Can I help you get beer? I know all about the beer," and they'd be like, "Nah, we're gonna talk to him. He has a beard." And they go to him and they'd be like, "So what does the 1933 Pilsner taste like?" And the guy and Sean would be like, "Well, you've had a Pilsner before?" And they go, "Yeah." And he goes, "It's not like that. You want to pour you one?" And they'd be like, "You're amazing in this brewery.
You know so much.
because you have a beard. Like a beard is everything."
You're wise, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Like
so.
it is it's, but everywhere else people are like, "What's that on your face?" Ew.
Yeah.
My family, by everyone
We walk into
else,
a
you mean
Starbucks.
at your parents' home or your grandparents' home.
Yeah, like oh yeah, my mom hated it.
My whole family can't wait till I get rid of it. But you know what? Finally, I have some sort of and you're I don't know, you're maybe a little bit taller than me, but as a relatively short guy, I feel like the beard finally gives me something. Like you said, it's like having big tits, where like someone just like for no reason other than something evolutionary in their psychology just defers to something. Because tall people, I feel like have like an automatic like
Everybody's always like,
an air of authority. Just physically, it's there. And I've always been like, damn, a short guy. And finally, as a beard, I just have something arbitrary.
How
has
long
nothing
did
to
it
do.
take you to grow your beard?
This has been about 10 months. I've trimmed it a couple
Wow.
times. but
Wow.
it got up to here like
That's
pretty
pretty
close to here
fast.
quickly.
Yeah. I would think that would have taken longer.
My genetics have finally worked for something to give
Well,
me
like,
authority.
Because beards. Did you go to Terminal Link?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, your beard has a terminal link.
Like where it will no longer
Like-
an event horizon, if
Yeah,
you will.
like I've never gotten there.
The singularity.
But there's a certain point where the hairs are like, that's as long as I'm going and growing.
Oh
That's
no, I
how-
haven't reached that.
Yeah, there's some people who grow a really full beard that's like this long,
Wow.
and then some will go longer and longer.
Yeah. I have to mention another plug, actually. This is pretty funny because my beard did this for me. So I actually, this past Wednesday, shot my first film. And so thanks to this beard, yours truly is going to be playing a crackhead in the next The Purge movie.
That's awesome.
100% must have booked it because of the beard.
So that's what I was gonna say. Like the beard in the brewing world gets you respect. You walk into a Starbucks and you're a crackhead.
And you're a
Right,
crackhead.
exactly.
Which, oh my God, let me tell you. So like they did a bunch of makeup. They like glued dirty shit to it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then I went out and so I had a line, but they had a bunch of like other crackheads that were background, who I think were just actual crackheads. Because they had no makeup. They brought their own wardrobe. They were all like 20 to 30 years older than me. One had like
Well,
a
they
fuck-
looked
like, face
20 to
tattoo,
30 years older
like
than
face
you.
tattoo. Genuinely, I was like frightened. I
Wow.
like texted my girlfriend like, "This is scary. I'm around actual crackheads. I think we're like
That's
in a hospital
crazy.
basement, like for like a horror scene, and they're good at it. Like it's
Yeah.
frightening. The environment is frightening, so it's very easy to like method act.
Oh my gosh,
No,
well
they-
congrats. I can't wait.
They just went to Port Authority and be like, all you guys get on this bus.
Right. $10, let's go.
Like that's what they did. They're like, hey, I go through Port Authority all the time, and it's like the worst experience
Yeah, they didn't hire them. They low-key kidnapped them.
I can't even. I have no validation in that. It's just the worst experience.
Yeah.
Going through there, I'm like, wow, fuck. I hate this building and everybody in it. I once saw a drunk Guido peeing on a homeless person,
Wow.
and nobody cared at all.
Well, that's New York.
Not even the
though.
homeless guy.
Not didn't affect anybody's day.
New Yorkers have a really high tolerance for bullshit.
I mean, that sounds so awful, and yet if a tree falls in the woods...
I'm like, well, I would stop this, but my bus is leaving, and I don't care. So
And the guy being peed on doesn't seem to care.
yeah, he's like warm now, so that's fine, I guess.
That's just sounds
NYC
so
Craft
utterly
Beer
depraved.
Fest is lit, guys.
It's popping here. It's true.
Have you ever seen Have you ever brought friends here and they walk around New York and they're just horrified at the things you don't even notice anymore?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
They're like, why are all these people here? We're like, well, they're homeless. We have to
We
go.
can't get 5
Right.
blocks.
we
Yeah.
have to
Don't
go.
worry, they get bagel in the morning.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Like it's
Right.
just- when they're and like the Louis C.K. joke is great. They're like they were like Uber says, oh yeah, you bring friends here and they see a homeless person, and they're like, and your friend's like, oh my god, somebody should help this guy, and Louis is like, yeah, but we're not. We're gonna
But
go on
not
our
us.
way. Yeah, there's gonna be people who come and help them, I guess, or whatever. All right, so the beer fest is hopping.
Yeah, thank you for getting back on
Good
track.
pun, also.
And,
Hopping, indeed.
and,
Hopping, get it, guys? There's hops and beer.
And we had fun with our beer podcast. It did turn to a little bit of a beard podcast.
Beard and
You
beer,
guys had to
yeah.
sit down. I'm
Two
sorry.
puns in
sorry.
one ending.
I mean, I know a little bit about beards. My husband has one.
So we're gonna be back for one more episode of Beer
Tomorrow,
Beer Fest
yeah.
Tomorrow.
I hope people. When do you release this? Sunday?
I'm gonna release this one on Monday, hopefully,
Okay.
and then I will release tomorrow's the next Monday.
You guys should really support beer festivals if you're a beer drinker. It's the best. They're very fairly priced, in my opinion,
Definitely.
for what you get. How many vendors are here? Do you know, Merlin?
I think there's over 75 breweries.
Okay.
A good chunk of them are local New York City ones or New York,
That's
New York
cool.
ones.
How many years have you been? Is this your first time
This
here?
is our
or-
first time pouring here, yeah.
Okay.
I came as an attendee when this event first started.
Right, I would think
4
that
years
you've
ago
been
or
here,
something,
yeah.
when I was at the Armory. Great event. Always does a really good job, and well coordinated. It's one of the better coordinated events
Yeah.
around, and the curation is getting really well.
Oh,
really
cool.
good shit.
I mean, we've been doing. I started my podcast here 2-3 years ago.
There you go. Didn't you ask me how long we've been doing it?
I did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought about 2 or 3 years. I
Yeah,
wasn't
and
sure.
we've always done at least one episode at the Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Like the first couple of times I did 3, but by the last one,
Do one every session.
Yeah, and
That's tough.
But the last one, I was like, well, I'm drunk and mumbling into a mic, and this is not usable. Just throw all this away. So now we do one on Friday, one early on Saturday, and the last session. Just
You
party.
drink, yeah.
Just drink.
We do research. We do beer research for
Right.
the last
Market
session.
research.
Yeah, we're beer research. We do
Lots and lots of beer research.
Because we're professional, damn it.
Yes.
We're professional.
Yes.
Also, the medical value of beer cannot be understated.
Vaccinate
Did you
with
write
it.
that article? You're really
Vaccinate with
pushing
beer.
this article.
No, truth. Beer is healthy and medicinal.
You're a beer truist. Truthist. What did you call
Truther.
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 Truther. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, before we go, so how is your name Merlin?
This is less interesting than
Like,
it sounds. It's
are you
probably
a
what-
wizard? And
Yeah, I have no magical powers.
How are you the only one without a beard?
And it's a weird thing that I don't have a beard, that I can't grow one. But my mother was literally reading Camelot when she was pregnant with me and just yanked it right out of the book.
I love that. I love
Okay.
it.
I
I
think-
approve of all of this musical theater talk today at this podcast.
Yes.
By the way,
It's amazing.
we want to thank Eric. Eric Slayer. He was on one of my episodes
Hey,
before.
Eric.
Eric. He was on my episode before where he was talking about his beer room documentary that's coming out.
Beer boom.
Beer boom. And now he is hanging out, drinking beer. He helped me set up, and he's doing photos and video.
Yeah, you'll see some photos on our Instagram and our. Do we have a Facebook, Brian?
We do.
I know we have an Instagram. I'm on there all the time. I don't know that we have a Facebook.
I mean, I see much more from Instagram, so it
Yeah,
seems
me
like
too.
a much better use of my time.
And I'm always the one to mention this, but I want everybody to hit us up and tell us where you want us to come out and try your beer, or if you're just a beer drinker and you know where the good beer is, let us know. We'll come out, we'll taste it, we'll let you know if we think it's good beer.
Also, so a couple of things are coming up. Next episode is tomorrow. We're going to be doing Allagash coming up.
Allagash, yes.
With two very special guests, Carrie Thornton and Adam Reed, who we have some super awesome announcements coming up.
Yes.
No one knows what they are.
I do.
We are going to, if you're a wine person, we're going to do a special wine episode with Rooftop Reds.
Cool.
And I'm going to act fancy and classy, like a Dow.
You gonna wear a bow tie?
I'm going to dress like
A tuxedo T-shirt is really what he's going to wear.
I'm literally going to dress like Maggie Smith in half her movies with a parasol bag. I'm drinking wine. The Dowager.
I don't think she does red wine. I think she's a white wine gal. You'll have to pick a different person.
Don't ruin this for me.
Don't ruin the dream, man.
What a bummer.
That's what
What
we have
else?
coming up in the next
Yeah.
couple episodes, I think. At some point we're going to do one with Bedford Cheese Shop where we pair beer and cheese.
Great.
Get some catawampus in that one.
The cattywampus in that. We should do that. We should figure out how to do that. Maybe we could have like some past brewers come together and have.
I would love that.
I just want to leave with a giant to-go container of cheese. That's my life goal right now.
Roll out.
Is be like, shit, what am I going to do with all this cheese? I'm going to have to eat half of it in the fridge.
We should actually sponsor like a contest or something and grab a few like breweries and do a beer taste like pairing contest where they bring their beer and they pair it with something and then we judge the pairings.
Either way, we win.
I know.
I mean, we
go.
totally win. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go enjoy the beer fest now.
Support your local beer fest and your local tap rooms everywhere.
And local beer.
And live comedy.
And live comedy. We support so many things. Dogs, too.
Yeah,
are
dogs,
cool,
too.
Awesome. All right, cool. That was fun.
All right.
All right, guys. Boris,
Thank you very much.
Merlin,
Thank you.
we're going to be doing some video content with Merlin Wartega.
Does Wartega have a website and everything?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can find us at wartega.com. Wartega.
Great. Look up where they're sold and what they got coming up.
We got a nice
and-
little beer map right on the homepage.
We actually
great.
actually do your social media, too. Social media?
Social media is all Wartega at Facebook and Instagram.
Cool.
Awesome.
The Boris K on everything.
Okay.
On everything. I love it.
I'm BJ Terrio, or on Keg Stand Comedy, which is our podcast on everything.
Yeah, Keg Stand is on everything. I am Jessica Murray on everything, or Jay Murray. And also my other podcast, Queefit. Check us out. It's two women, very real, talking about all sorts of stuff.
Bird saliva.
Fitness, body dysmorphia, stuff that people don't want to talk about, but it's everywhere. And we have some good guests of all sorts. I can't even try to name drop for you right now. Kenny Santucci coming up, hopefully. I'll see him tomorrow. I don't know if you know him, but he was on Real World Road Rules Challenge, and he's a fitness guru, and he'll be talking to us about body dysmorphia with men, which is not really talked about a lot, but it's out there.
Oh, yeah, there's a few comics that have that.
Oh, there's more than a few comics that have that, yeah.
I mean, there's more than a few comics that have every possible
yeah,
issue.
phobia and yeah.
But yeah, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to wrap this up. That was
Yes.
fun.
Let's go drink beer.
Yeah, let's go
Cheers.
drink beer.
All right.
And next week will be our next episode of the Beer Fest.
Awesome. Bye.